their tracks. More tracks. Footprints. They must have fled this way. Strange. These trees look half calcinated, as if they were exposed to immense heat. These weapons are in terrible condition. Whatever did these men come up against? Another burnt tree. This path seems to have been scorched in flames.
Protect me in this battle! May the shadow engulf our enemies! May the shadow engulf...
More signs of an explosion. I can't believe that our soldiers could be carrying so many explosive potions. These poor soldiers were torn to pieces. Animals again, or something else. New footprints. It looks as if a group met up with them and took this path. There was more fighting over here. There are not only the corpses of our own men, but where could these other soldiers have come from? More signs of explosions. But what were they doing with all these explosives on them? Only a handful made it up to here. The path stops on this overhang, and despite signs of a skirmish, I can't see any sign of Konstantin or Katasach. And these rocks were broken, as if they had taken cannon fire. What could have happened here? I don't recognize these men. Still more unknown soldiers. Could they have been responsible for the attack? This one is carrying a letter. Let's see. According to this note, this troop came from an outpost of the Bridge Alliance close by. A patrol, no doubt. Could the bridge in some way be linked to this attack? That makes no sense.
Protect me in this battle! May the shadow engulf our enemies!
I recognize this sack. It's my cousin's. Oh, Konstantin, what have you gotten yourself into again? These vials look familiar. Katasach used the very same to stock his potions. He must have come here. I'm going to pick them up. Very well. Let's sum things up. Konstantin and Katasach definitely came through here to perform some sort of ritual, but they were attacked. An attack obviously involving wild animals. And then there are these traces of inexplicable flames. Could it be magic?
You cannot suspect my people are behind this attack. You have strayed far from the path. No one would have attacked Katasach.
Unless he himself was behind it. He is a powerful Donegad. The beasts obey him.
How could you even think something like that? He is a healer. He brought comfort to your cousin.
Perhaps he only did it to gain our trust. With Konstantin captive, he now has leverage to apply to the colonists and force them to accept his conditions. But in all truth, I have no idea what to think. But regardless of who is guilty, I must find my cousin. We could return to Wenxavier to learn more. Perhaps Katasach returned there. Or maybe his Voglendai could tell us where to find him. We are also going to have to visit the outpost. Their soldiers were involved in the combat, or at least the end of it. They must have some stories for us.
That trail seems a better one to follow. Katasach is a good man, but the soldiers and the lions have already betrayed you.
That's true. But I do not see how they could have made these animals obey them. However, one way or another, Konstantin is in danger. Let us be on our way without further delay.
I can protect me in this battle. May the shadow engulf our enemies. May the shadow engulf our enemy.
Lady Morange tells me that a delegation from the de Vespe family just landed on the island.
From the look on your face, I take it their arrival is not good news. Are they that bad?
If I had to name one family in the merchant congregation who has mastered the art of manipulation and treachery, it would be the de Vespes. We must ask ourselves why they are here. We should find Lady Morange as soon as possible to provide assistance.
Sir de Sardet, did you get my message?
Indeed. The arrival of the de Vespe family in Tir Fredi is surprising and no doubt worrying. But without knowing their intentions...
Nothing good can come from that family, for the interests of the d'Orsay family and Serene. But I truly cannot tell you anything about the reason for their presence. The message I received was brief. Aurelia de Vespe announced her arrival on the island and asked to see your cousin as soon as possible. She and her entourage seem to have settled in a region that I do not know. Adag ol Credo, north of Vikshadir. I think it would be good for you to locate her and try to find out more.
I know this place, but I thought that only the Doneigada from the Baragnodas clan knew how to access it. It's a sacred place. That's where Animide shed his blood.
You should also take advantage and visit these unknown lands. Who knows what they have in store for us?
You're right. It's better for us to go and see what it's all about. What can you tell me about the de Vespe family? I've never met them, and everything I know is hearsay.
And, strange and worrying as it is, the rumors are justified for the most part. Nevertheless, I'm not an expert, and I've been away from the continent for a long time. I'm sure Sieur de Courcillon will be able to tell you more. But know that they have envied the d'Orsay family's power in the congregation for generations. They have tried to impose themselves many times at its head, holding up the antiquity of their city Perenne as a pretext. They bribe messengers, use blackmail and trickery, even murder, according to some people. And don't back down for anything. Be very careful with them, Your Excellency, and don't believe a single one of their lies. They're real vipers. Do you have any other questions?
What do you know about Aurelia de Vespe? Is she an important member of the family?
As far as I know, she's the prince's favorite daughter, and the only one left. I seem to remember that she was married to a promising young nobleman for a few years. I heard he died in suspicious circumstances, but I couldn't tell you what happened or if it's even true. But if you want to find out more about her before you go to meet her, you should go to speak to Sieur de Courcillon. Do you have any other questions?
Do you know the city of Perenne?
Legend would have it that it's the oldest city in the congregation, and its ruins bear witness to a glorious past. It's a beautiful city with a river running through it, and whose art and architecture have long been a source of inspiration for the old world. Nevertheless, it doesn't have direct access to the sea, which stopped it from thriving and becoming as powerful as Serene. That's what finally pushed it into the background, amidst the larger cities. Do you have any other questions?
Goodbye, Lady Morange.
Goodbye, Your Excellency. Be careful. Don't underestimate the trickery of the de Vespes.
I've heard stories of your exploits. Thank you for all you've done. It's unusual for us to be offered aid by a Renaigse. It seems my Tiern was right. You are on Al-Manawi. How can I help?
Katasak has disappeared. Would you have any idea as to where he went?
What? But my Tiern followed you to help you. How would I know where to find him?
I don't know exactly what happened, but he took my cousin to a particular place. A place to perform a ritual. Their escort was attacked, decimated by beasts and by magic. And my cousin and Katasak have disappeared.
And you believe that the Tiern has taken your cousin and killed his soldiers? Your heart must beat in shadow to believe that the man who offered you his hand only did so in order to better betray you.
Wait. This is not what my friend wanted you to hear. Perhaps they were wounded, and your master wanted to take Constantine to a safe haven to heal him. We must find them at all costs. Wherever they are, they most certainly need help.
Forgive me, Doneged. Your words are true. I spoke without thinking. But I do not know how I can help you.
There may be a way. I found these vials of potion on the battlefield. Do they belong to your master?
They could very well, but let me see them closely. No, they are not his. This potion does not seem like any of those my master prepares. I do not know this smell. The plants used to make it do not come from here. Another Doneged must be implicated. But none that I know would attack Katasach. May the trees protect us. Who would attack the water that heals? The earth that feels? They must be in grave danger.
Yes. I sincerely hope that we will find them. That they are alive and well. I must go. I need to continue my investigations.
When you have discovered anything, let me know.
I have to go.
Colonials? You must have gotten lost to have come this far from nowhere. To whom do I owe the honor?
Desardet. I am legate of the Congregation of Merchants on this island.
A legate? Here? Pardon my dismay, but we don't get many official sorts around here. Captain Idris. I am the ranking officer in charge of this Bridge Alliance outpost. What can I do for you, sir?
I'm looking for Constantine d'Orsay, the island governor of the Congregation of Merchants.
A governor? Here? Whatever would he be doing in this rattle?
My cousin was part of an expedition in this region. His men and his camp were attacked. They nearly all died. But we found no trace of his body, which has us hoping that he may still be alive. Wounded and holding up somewhere, or even captured.
Have you cast your suspicions in our direction? I hope this is a joke. We've had neither reinforcements nor supplies for weeks. In my book, we've been totally forgotten. I wouldn't risk the few lives remaining to attack a governor's camp. I'm not crazy. I'm truly sorry for your cousin, Excellency, but we haven't seen him. And we definitely haven't kidnapped him. The region is dangerous. The natives are heartless. You should be looking in their direction.
You do know that we found the bodies of several men from the garrison up there, don't you?
How could you be sure?
One of them was carrying a note, signed by your hand.
And they are dead. I had hoped they'd have survived and would eventually return.
Explain yourself, Captain. What were your men doing on the cliff top?
They were monitoring the zone. They were to warn us of any troop movements. We have lost too many men to surprise attacks. We decided to take initiative and be ready. Yesterday, we heard screams and saw some strange lights up there. But I was hoping...
And you didn't go and see for yourself? You hear screams, certainly those of your own men, and you don't do anything.
So the last of my men give up their lives for nothing as well? You can think of me as a coward if you like. But me, I'm taking no more unnecessary risks.
Why do I have the feeling that you're holding something back from me? I can see how difficult your present situation has become. I'm certain you haven't been paid either for quite some time. I cannot solve all of your problems. But what would you say if I took care of that one, at least?
A little gold would certainly improve the morale of my men. One of the men I posted there returned during the night.
A survivor? Excellent. Did he tell you what happened?
He wasn't able to say a word. He collapsed unconscious 2 steps past the doorway. Our nurse sits with him, but there is little hope that he will come back to himself. His wounds are extremely serious. He's just refusing to die.
I'm sorry to hear that, Captain. Perhaps we could do something for him.
Go and see the nurse. Perhaps you can do something to help the poor boy. I can't take it anymore. To lose another man. Anything else?
I need to be going.
I would very much like to do the same. Safe journey, Your Excellency.
What are you doing there? This is an infirmary!
I know. I've come to see the wounded soldier. The captain told me you might need my help.
That is very kind of him. But alas, it's a little late.
What are you saying? Is the soldier...
No, he still lives. But I've been asking the captain for weeks to escort me on a mission to replenish my stocks. I no longer have a single remedy. And now that we have a wounded patient, I can only wipe water on his brow and hope.
Do you know what type of remedy would allow him to survive?
Yes, at least I think so. It's a known potion that heals burns.
I see. Give me the recipe. We'll go and see that it's prepared for you.
Thank you. Because of you, this poor boy might be able to survive his wounds. Were you able to concoct the potion against burns?
Yes, I was. Might we administer it?
Give it to me. I'll take care of this. There. We must wait and be patient now.
Will he make it?
I hope so. We'll know soon enough. This potion is extremely potent.
And if he survives, when could we speak to him?
Come back tomorrow at the same time. We'll know more then.
Very well. I'll come back tomorrow.
See you soon. And thank you again for your help.
Hello, soldier. How are you doing?
Better. A lot better. Are you the one who saved me? The nurse told me.
I simply prepared the potion that she told me how to make. Nothing more. Could you tell me what happened during the attack?
I will try. They're not really memories I'm fond to bring back. A lot of my friends died up there. We were posted up on the peak to follow rebel movement. It had been a couple of days when we heard sounds of fighting not far from our position. Men were screaming in our own language. So we went to see what was happening. Soldiers of the Coin Guard and an islander were trying to protect a young man. He seemed dire ill.
Konstantin Katasak and his escort. Who were they fighting against?
Dozens of wild animals. They seemed completely enraged and intent on devouring them. And there were flames.
Flames? Where were they coming from?
I don't know. My friends and other soldiers fell one after the other. I didn't see everything. All was blood and confusion with beasts and fire. But I thought I saw another islander. Big. He's the one who took the sickened man. There was practically no one left on the battlefield. I was wounded and I passed out. I came to when I heard voices of islanders approaching. Rebels. I thought to myself, they're coming to finish off the wounded. I got up with difficulty and fled. I dragged myself here. And you know the rest.
I'm going to have to go and find these rebels.
You shouldn't do that. They killed all of my friends. You take a great risk.
That's enough. Rest now. You're still far from having recovered.
Yes, it's best I leave now. I've learned enough. I'll have a word with your captain. Goodbye.
Excellency, I was told that you saved my soldier. Thank you. You can't imagine what this means to us.
Please. I did nothing more than follow the instructions your nurse gave me.
Did you learn what you needed to learn?
Yes. I was able to question your man and he told me what he saw. He and his company heard sounds of the attack, and they went to investigate. My cousin's escort were already nearly annihilated by animals that jumped out from all sides. A strange sorcerer controlled them. It was he that took my cousin.
One of those rebel savages, no doubt. I knew that they'd be behind all of this. They must have learned that an important man was in the region and thought he would make the perfect hostage. I'm sorry. I would give you some men, but...
Don't apologize. I know where the camp can be found, and if my cousin is there, I will free him.
Like you freed the scholars. You're a good man, Excellency. Thank you again for saving my soldier.
I need to be going.
I would very much like to do the same. Safe journey, Your Excellency.
the enlightened protect me in the battle.
Hello.
Renaigse, there you are again. What do you want?
To speak to you about my cousin's capture and the massacre of his escort. A soldier from the nearby outpost survived and told us that you were present on the battlefield.
You dare come here and accuse us of taking him? Let me throw him out this Renaigse and his Ilkdaren. May they receive this punishment for their arrogance.
I know that you see us as your enemies, but we are not here to harm you. I only seek to find the man I consider to be my brother, as well as the man who is protecting him. Katisach, one of your greatest Donegada.
No Donea Exregal would attack Katasach.
If you didn't attack him, you must know what happened to them. I was told that an islander took my cousin away. Perhaps your men were there to aid them.
We do not have your cousin, and we do not know what happened to him. As for Katasach, and the Vorst Tire, he died from his wounds. That night, we heard the sounds of a terrible combat. The ground shook all the way to our homes. We went to see, but we arrived too late. The last breath of Katasach had returned to the wind when we arrived there, and many of the Renaigse were dead. We could do no more. We carried the body of the Donegad and brought it here.
He gave his life to protect Constantine. May he rest in peace. This request might surprise you, but we would like to see him.
Why? What do you want to do with him, Renaigse?
Examine him to understand what killed him. We were told that an island native was there and that he likely led the attack.
No Donea Exregal would attack Katasach. You have been lied to, or they were mistaken.
That is the very reason I need to see his body. To understand.
You may see him. But if you desecrate his body, you will pay for this offense with your life.
Katisach. Seeing the state of his body. I hate myself for having suspected him. Forgive me, Donegad. To have doubted your loyalty and even more for what we are about to do. Now then, let's see what story this corpse has to tell. Afra would know how to get information from this body. I'll need to go and find her. Afra would know how to get information from this body. I'll need to go and find her.
Sade, I'd like to discuss something with you.
I'm listening.
My colleagues are only interested in the physiology of the islanders and consider everything else to be superstitions. However, if we want to understand how they are transforming, we need to take a look at their culture. The potions they drink, the dyes they use are surely the source of their physical changes.
Why not talk about it with Siora? It seems to me that she would be the best one to help you.
Siora is very suspicious of me. She will never betray the secrets of the Donegada. But I was told about a place of ritual called Kurganau, decorated with carvings and offerings. By studying them, I hope to better understand what is possibly the greatest mystery of this century. But they call it a dangerous place and I cannot go alone. Will you accompany me?
Sorry, I'm already very busy at the moment.
I understand. But think about it all the same. Anything else?
I must leave you. Here is the body of Katasach. Could you examine it and tell us what you make of his wounds?
Of course. This won't be the first time I've examined a corpse. We note a great number of large, blunt force contusions, covering the entire surface of the victim's body. None of the wounds could be attributed to a blade or a spear, nor are there any visible bullet entry points. Practically every bone has been broken in multiple places. The rib cage was torn open and then collapsed. The open wound reveals multiple perforations of the vital organs. Here, the borders of the wounds have been singed. The flesh is blackened, exposed to a flame, no doubt. And we also note several patches of mineral residue. They seem oddly out of place in spite of the exotic insular origin of our deceased. I would be hard-pressed to tell you which of the wounds proved to be the fatal blow, but one thing is certain.
He was smashed violently by a giant rock that was without a doubt on fire.
Yes. These wounds are similar to those given by a heated cannon shot, though in a less regular fashion.
The dead soldiers we found had identical wounds. As crazy as this may sound, whoever is responsible for this attack is capable of wielding molten rock.
In any other circumstance, your conclusion would qualify you for an asylum. But I stand on the side of the improbable. The natives' powers reside outside the body of knowledge we possess.
I can't imagine an Adaig behaving like this. It is not their way. That they might attack careless hunters or warriors, true, but to attack Katasach, the power to call volcano fires, could only be that of a guardian. No simple man wields mountain fire.
We still don't really know who is actually behind this attack, nor what they want. Judging by the severity of these wounds, I fear the worst for Constantine.
All your experiments. You've learned so little. You've learned to fear. Your instincts should have been enough.
We had to at least try. Are you not even concerned or angered by what happened to Katasach?
We've grown accustomed to the loss of lives, your relentless attacks and incessant treacheries. All the same, there is truth in your words. This attack is out of place. Guardian and Donegad would never attack one another. There is a ritual that might help us. Anatalas Fair.
The Anatalas Fair. What is it? Tell me more.
It is a magical rite that only a person with a powerful bond to both spirits and nature can perform. It allows the Donegad who chants it to relive the last moments of an Onol Manawi.
That would allow us to at least see the face of his assassin.
If what I have heard is true, yes. To my knowledge, only one Donegad still living knows the ritual.
Let's ask her for her help then. She might be able to tell us what has become of Constantine.
You are quick to ask another to put her mind in danger for your own concerns. Imagine the pain of the wounds of another, shaking your body as the cold of death crushes your beating heart. This is what you must ask of the Tiernahach. It is the price she must pay for performing the ritual. When her companion was lost in battle, fighting against your own, she wanted to live that death beside her. Since that day, our Tiernahach Kadachtas has never breathed air with the same breath.
That would explain her distrust of the colonials.
You must make her see your purpose. It may be the only way you are going to learn the fate of your cousin.